Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is go to musiclab.chromeexperiments.com/songmaker. And we have some settings we can experiment with here. So let's make the length of our song 2 bars, because we're going to make kind of like a bass line and drum beat. And 4 beats per bar, we can keep that. And I'm going to split the beats into subdivisions of 4. This will allow 16th note patterns. And I'm going to, I'll keep the major scale, but you could also select pentatonic or chromatic. And this 2-octave range is fine, starting on middle C. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a drum beat. So I'm going to keep the electronic kit here. And down here, these bottom 2 rows, those are like a kick drum and snare. So if I were to play this, typically the snare is on 2 and 4. So we'll keep that on 2 and 4. And let's maybe start with the kick on the downbeats. And then from there you can experiment and try different syncopated patterns to make it a little bit more interesting. So I'll try something like this. And you can play while you're creating to hear in real time, what it sounds like. And you can also change the tempo. I might slow this groove down a little bit. So I'm going to bring it down to about 100. You can change what kind of drum kit you're using. All right, and now we're ready to create the bass line. So I chose this to be in the major scale, not pentatonic or chromatic. And it's in C, so I know that these notes are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then repeating again. So I'm going to create something that's maybe in the minor key. So using the major scale, but building something in the minor key, and I'll use the synth for this. Now, bass line should match the kick drum pattern. So see if you can create a bass line that matches your kick pattern. Or you could reverse engineer your kick pattern to match your bass line if you find something else that you like. So you simply click on the tile to turn it on or off. So if you don't like what you've created, you can click it again. You can also kind of draw like that to get something on the board, so to speak. But I usually like to play the drum beat pattern and try to figure out a bass line that goes well with it. So I'm in kind of A minor here, and I'm going to go to D, kind of like going to the 4 chords. So since that's C, that's going to be a D. And let's see. Maybe I'll go to the 5 here, which would be E. Something in the middle here. That's kind of cool with the F going to the E there. So now I've got a bass line that I like with a drum groove that I like. Let's listen to it once more. So now I can save it. And you also have the option to save, so that saved it as a link you can copy, but you could also download it as a MIDI file or a WAV file. And that's really nice. If you download it as a MIDI file, you can use it in GarageBand or Soundtrap or Pro Tools, any other DAW, and you can change the instrument and work with the MIDI data. If you download it as a WAV file, You can, same thing, you can import it into a DAW, but you won't be able to edit it as much. A cool feature of their SongMaker is the microphone tool. So if you click on this mic, you can actually sing a note and it will show you where that note is on the piano roll here, this grid of notes. So if you wanted to sing a note and see where it maps out, you can use that tool to help you create your bass line or melody.